I literally slept for 2 hours on that day.
This is now your own problem.
See?
Okay? You also had a decision to make.
Should I prioritize myself first, or am I doing the right thing? So, the other day something happened that made me kinda reflect on two things. First of all, am I judging? Like, do I judge people? That's number one. Number two, it's gonna be the question. The number two. I was hanging out with some group of friends.
Yeah.
Some of them that I know, some of them that I don't. And I really had shitload of things to do.
You had what?
Shitload of things to do.
Okay.
But what did I call it? Social obligations made me stay against my will, but I had to stay.
Yeah.
So, in that group, there was one guy casually just pulled his bag, took out his laptop, opened it, and started working. And in my head, I'm like, do you really have to do it right here, right now? That was my question. This is where I was kind of judging in a bit. And then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Is he wrong for doing it? Or am I wrong for not doing it? My question is, if I am in a situation where I really have things to do, work to do, and yet the social obligations made me not do them, I sacrifice my, for example, sleeping hours. I don't want to sacrifice my family time, so I sacrifice my sleeping hours, technically my health. Because I'd be like, okay, I'm going to stay up, I'll finish this and this and that. I don't put myself first, I put myself somewhere before the last. Am I wrong for doing it? Or is he wrong for doing it?
I would like to give my honest opinion on this, okay? But in the most neutral way.
Go ahead.
That I can ever. I'll do my best. I'll try and do justice to your question.
Let's go.
So, I'm going to start off with the guy who pulled his laptop out. For all you know, he might have been in the same situation as you as well.
Yeah.
Maybe had something. He thought maybe he was going to be done with this social gathering and rush quick and send a quick email.
Yes.
But somehow he noticed like, no, shit, this isn't going to finish anytime early.
Yeah.
Did he socialize with you guys and continue throughout the gathering working on the laptop? Or he just opened the laptop, did something, and then put it back?
So there was something outside and something inside.
Okay.
Outside, he was 100% present.
Okay.
When we moved inside, right away, he was like, no question asked. He opened his laptop and he started. I left.
Okay.
Earliest. I was the first one to leave.
Okay.
So I didn't know.
He's one of those people who.
I didn't know how early or how late he left.
Oh, okay. So maybe also he was one of those people who can multitask. You know, some people can work literally in any environment.
Like, and I keep a conversation going?
Yeah, and some people can do it on their phones. Trust me, there are people like that.
Yeah.
Like you see the person juggling a lot of things. You guys are talking, maybe someone cracks a joke, and you hear that guy laughing. Like, okay, cool, like that. Maybe he's used.
Yet, if I am the, let's say, speaker, and since he is going to be the listener, for example, you and I, we have this most of the time. Let's say if I see you on the phone while I'm telling you something, I just pause.
Yeah.
Because I would like to have like eye contact while I'm looking at you, while I'm talking to you. Why am I gay? Why I'm staring at you? So,
and he knows that most of the time, okay, what you guys are up to, it's not really, how can I say, it's not something productive.
No.
It's just guys chitty-happy.
Yes.
And the guy doesn't want to be rude at the same time and just say, okay, let me just, if he's like, you know what, I've got something to do for 15 minutes, let me just handle this while I hang out with the guys and get it out of the way.
I literally slept for 2 hours on that day.
Okay, this is...
For a whole day, I slept 2 hours.
Okay, this is now your own problem.
See?
Okay? You also had a decision to make.
Yeah.
Like, guys, cool. So, the fact that it's paining you that the guy didn't have to wait and then go. But the guy was smarter Let me not say smarter than you, but he's like, yeah, you know what? Maybe he gets to spend only the weekend with you guys. You see?
Okay.
He's like, if I leave now, maybe the next time I'll see these guys is going to be 1 month or 3 months. So let me just hang around, send my email. I don't have to travel, go home, send the email or do whatever I have to do. But the fact that he removed the laptop and did what he had to do, it means it was really important. You see, because he outright removed his laptop, started working or whatever, sending email or doing whatever he was doing, it means it was that important. To you, it might not seem like that because you already want to judge him. You already want to attack him because you're already sleepless, by the way, as well.
Two things. Or let's make them three. I started with me being judging, and the second thing was, should I prioritize myself first, or am I doing the right thing? Let's make the third one of
I'm still going to come to you.
me being aware.
I'm trying to deal with this guy, and then I'll come to you as well.
The third thing is like me defending myself. The fact that I'm being aware or I'm questioning who's right and who's wrong, I didn't really judge the guy. Maybe at first I did, but the fact that I'm like, maybe he is right, that doesn't count as judging, does it?
It's what you think, but the fact that you are aware to say, ah, fuck, I'm now judging this guy, or I'm now trying to give this guy like a credit, and you're already trying. It also plays a part as being, what can I say, a bit selfish as well.
At some point, I think we all should be selfish.
Yes, we should be selfish. But if I'm going to be selfish, I'm going to be selfish for me. So if you're going to be selfish for you, like, oh, guys, I can't stay. It was good meeting you, whatever. Bro, in most of the time,
Yeah.
okay, in that gathering, when someone is speaking, maximum, how many were you? 10?
More or less.
Okay, 10 guys.
Which is the reason why I had to leave. My social anxiety started kicking in. I'm like, I can't do this.
So, when 10 or more, or whatever, 3 or more people are gathered, the people that are really engaged is way less than, you see someone on their phones.
Yes.
Equally the same on the guy who's on his laptop.
True. As a matter of
see?
fact, the guy on the laptop at least is doing something.
Exactly, he's doing
The one on the
something,
phone
you
is just scrolling.
see. Yes, just scrolling, like, the guy is, let's say your brain selects, like selective, like, okay, I'm interested in this. Let me join in the convo, you know, all these crowded conversation, you know, hangout spots. And some people sometimes in those 10, they're having their own conversations, like mini conversation.
Yeah.
It's not like it's an auditorium where there is only one guy and
then
all you guys are
listeners.
listening.
Yes.
You see? So, in that case, I don't blame the guy to a bigger extent, you know? Mm-hmm. Then I'm coming to you now.
Let's go.
You, on the other hand, my friend, you just, like, frustrated. Like, he gets to do that, and he stays. Why doesn't he fucking take his laptop and go and work? You, on the other way, subconsciously.
I did not think that way.
You subconsciously, you are looking for an excuse to leave. So if it was you with that, you want to sleep, you want to spend family with your time, you know this is not productive, you're not going to gain anything from this. This guy is playing on his laptop, I might as well leave. You see? Because at the back of your brain, you're trying to make an excuse just not to be there.
Kinda yes and no. Let's leave it as yes and no.
Yeah, I'm not an expert in this.
That was my ticket, like way out. But anyway, I was thinking about like,
why didn't you talk about the guys on their phones? Why didn't you talk about the guys that were chit-chatting?
because now socially, it is accepted and expected to be on your phone. I mean, sometimes you go out. Sometimes you go out on a date.
Maybe
your
what
spouse.
he was doing is not on his phone. It's on the laptop.
On the laptop.
Yeah, some
But
people might...
Somehow I would forgive him. Okay, or let's put forgiveness aside. As I said, it is socially accepted and expected when you are like in a gathering and most of them are on their phones. We got used to it to the point where we don't notice it, maybe. But our laptop is out. That's like attention grabber. But as I said, sometimes you go out on a date and the next person where you should be having a quality time is on their phone, and
Bro, quality time now is not.
it's a myth.
It's not really. It's not really a myth, but also when you are spending time with your wife,
Yes.
let's just say how you've been with her for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Of that 1 hour, how many minutes do you actually have quality time? Like, okay, like without you pulling out your phone, or without her pulling out her phone.
Lately, since I am aware of it, yes, like I don't pull it as much as I used to. But if we speak a couple of years ago, yeah, I mean, we had an argument about
You
this.
see, sometimes even when you're with her, you can even like, okay, agree, but something else is.
But in my defense, it used to be work most of the time. I'm working on the phone. I'm
There's no
replying to
excuse.
messages.
At the end of the day, you're still on the phone.
True.
You see, it doesn't matter if you're scrolling Instagram. It doesn't matter if you are working. When it's time for quality time, it's the problem that I have. Maybe you've noticed also. I can't really multitask.
It's not a problem.
It's
I mean, you can if
I
you
ca-
want.
I can't, no, I can't be.
You choose not to.
I can't be on the phone, talk to someone, or do I like find it really hard. That's why every time when you see me when I'm talking to you, or if I'm about
I
to
just
state
pause.
a fact, I just put my phone down and then start talking as well.
Bro, I came to a point where, first of all, my phones most of the time are on silent. Second of all, I genuinely, if I'm taking a seat with you, my phone is face down. Because this is something I wanted also somehow to reach. What are we sacrificing on expenses of what? For example, as I said, I sacrifice my sleeping hours. Some people would sacrifice their family time. For them, let's say sleeping is not just essential, it is a priority.
But sometimes, bro, it's just a routine. Okay? If I tell you before I reached here today, the amount of meetings I had to do, the amount of schedules I had to,
Yeah, reaching you
Jingle.
for the past couple of days was really
you
hard.
see, it feels like I'm doing an extra job.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter even if it's social, if it's work, if it's. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I just take my phone, put on silent, and try and have time to myself. I'm not playing on. If you see my phone on silent, which means I'm not on my phone.
Yes.
You see? I'm not on the TV. I'm just chilling. I'm just spacing out. Sometimes I do maybe therapy. I just maybe start washing the dishes, start cleaning, pick up a shoe, start, like I just want to do something that's going to keep me like zoned out.
Zoned out.
Yeah, you see. So it helps sometimes because sometimes you feel like, I always say it, even if you watch the other episodes, you should own your phone, not that your phone should
Yes.
own you. You know me from,
Yeah.
everyone's always complaining about the
Honestly,
same
you just
thing.
leave your phone and
You see?
disappear.
So it is a good thing, like to have phones. Even when I went back home, I hadn't seen my most of my family members for the longest time.
Yeah.
But the moment they pick up their phones, it's like everyone is like in a different country still. You see, but you guys haven't seen. There's nothing to talk about, or even if you guys start to try and speaking, most of them are on their phones. Most of them are playing their phones.
Yeah.
And
This is a different issue. Like as you said.
you
Like
see,
now we shifted from prioritizing whatever you were gonna sacrifice to this. Yeah, like how did we reach to a point where it is all okay to be in a gathering, knowing, for example, one of these guys around you in this group, you're not gonna see them
And I've
anytime
seen-
soon if you're gonna see them ever again.
Yeah.
For example, in that time, a girl was leaving and that's it. Like most probably none of us gonna see her ever again.
yeah.
So
And-
wouldn't you be present at that moment?
And what can I say to you? If you roll back maybe 10 or 15 years, during our time as kids,
Yes.
as teenagers,
Yes.
we would play outside, we would try and, But to some extent, it's good that we have phones now. It reduces the arguing and all the.
Fights, the arguments, the injuries,
You
all of
see,
these.
it reduces. It also has its pros, using the phone, bro. The youngsters these days, bro, they're like robots. I think if you take away a phone from a youngster now, they'll die. It's like they're in prison.
The episode that I see.
You see?
Look, I'm afraid that my son somehow, like sometimes he has it on and off. But in his defense as well, for example, today in the morning, we had a breakfast, we danced, we sang, we played, and then I took him outside. We went to a coffee shop. We did a lot of activities. The kid couldn't care less about the existence of a phone or a laptop or a TV. As long as I was present, he doesn't care about it. But let's say I got back home and then I started cooking and everything, and the meal took a bit longer. He got bored. I gave him some toys, but toys and phones, they're not equal. Phones, like a lot of colors, a lot of changing things. He came back holding my phone, and he was like, eh. It's like, bro, you want to cook? I'm okay. I can wait for you, but turn on something for me. But I turned on some music for him again.
Yeah.
But he was just clicking. He wanted to do something. Yeah, but it kept him safe from going to the balconies and shit. But at the same time, it had some negative
But
effects.
bro, you're not gonna escape this.
You can't. I just gave up. If you watch my episodes about me not giving him the phone, click here, watch here, bullshit. That's just bullshit. That was something I didn't.
It's difficult to control some of these things.
Impossible, not difficult. It is literally impossible. All these reels about the kids playing, climbing a tree and saying, I didn't raise an iPad kid. They are lying. They're lying. I don't know any kid that at least doesn't
So
hold
do you
the
think
phone.
it's gonna be harder as the time?
Definitely. It will be harder and harder and harder and harder. But then again, you can always use it to your advantage, not to your disadvantage. It depends on which content. Like, for example, I play music most of the time for Sami. Today, casually, I played some song. I swear to God, I kid you not. Some like cartoon characters and something. But then there was a male character. He was just squeezing and shouting. And then he's like, I think I'm having a baby. And I was like, hold the fuck up. No, that's. Bro, can you imagine? Baby, like kids cartoon. And then they just show this kind of content in it. So if I were the kind of parent who would just turn on something and move, not pay attention to it, then I would be having a problem. But since I'm kind of aware, like, well, let's say, what he's watching, what he's not watching, I think I'm doing a decent job so far. But bro, honestly, it was scary. I swear to God, I was in shock. Like, that's literally like a 5-second scene. And I'm like, how the fuck do they show it?
They always try and slide them.
You would never need, like, if you blink, you wouldn't see it.
Of course, man. This is how the world is designed to be now. So,
Back again,
back again.
as always. The conversation just does this.
Yeah. So, for the youngsters, like, I think now, in my own opinion,
Yeah.
they shouldn't sentence people to prison. I sentence you for not having a phone for the next 3 years.
That's as harsh as being in prison.
You see?
To be honest, let's put the kids aside. Us, as adults.
Bro,
There is
the
some
millennials,
rehab
the millennials-
centers where you go and have like a, what do they call it? Technological detox
Yeah.
or whatever. What?
I was talking about us. I think the people that are suffering the most is us. At first, we tried to catch up,
Yes.
like, before all this, like, from the laptop, not from laptop, from this internet that used to make noise.
The
like,
wire up.
Wire.
Like the whole neighborhood knows that you're logging into
To
internet.
3Gs, to 5Gs, bro. Now AI, this is a game changer, bro. Now
You don't know what is real, what is not.
bro, it's like really scary. Like, you'll be like, okay, how am I going to? The people that I feel the sorry most for is our parents.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's difficult. Where do they start even?
they better not start at this point. They better just stick to Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. That's it. It's good enough for them. But here's the thing: my mom is on ChatGPT the whole time.
Really?
She's a big fan of ChatGPT.
She's
But
catching up.
she does two things on ChatGPT. Talk about food, because she told me like it is much easier than YouTube in it or Google in it. It's straight to the point. Other things, consultant. My kids are doing this and this and this. What am I supposed to do with this whole situation? And I'm like, Mom, don't do that.
Check our episode we talked about.
Right?
Yeah, about that as well.
Here.
You know? So everything is like a chain. Like
Exactly.
our episodes are like chain
Right?
reaction.
Honestly.
So
I think we're doing well. No comment.
no comment.
Actually, we are doing well.
Yeah.
It's a hobby after all.
So I was still saying, bro, for kids now, it's something else.
Yeah.
I think by the time, like, let's say 10 years from now, kids will be born with chips somehow for them to operate all this kind of thing. You see a newborn being able to scroll and do all this. But, bro, your son now, he can skip an ad, yeah?
I swear to God. Bro, I have this YouTube Premium.
Premium, yeah.
Okay. And I had an issue with the payment. So the premium plan stopped.
Yeah.
And I was not aware of it because lately I'm not using YouTube much. And then I had to play a song for him because he was freaking out. And then an ad came out and he was just shouting at me. He's like, and I was driving. I was not aware of it. And then he just smacked the phone. And I hate that he started doing it recently. And then I noticed it is because of the ad. He knows that this is an ad and it disturbed what he was watching and he doesn't want this ad. Yes. And in baby language, he's telling me, you poor motherfucker, why don't you pay for this premium plan? And I'm like, well, forgive me, I will do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On that note, I would like to thank Coffee Honey for continuing to sponsor our podcast. We've come a long way.
Honestly.
And cheers. Diving back to another commercial break.
Yes.
Mr. Abdulrahman.
Mr. Ives.
Did you see the shoe that I sent to you?
The shoe? The coffee shoe? Bro, they're taking it too far. Like, look. I mean, let's put...
It comes in a package of coffee. Like...
I mean,
bro, these days,
the unlimited creation and invention when it comes to coffee machines and everything, that it is just so hard to keep up with right now.
It is very, because everyone is just bullshitting. Not bullshitting.
It is bullshit, bro.
Bro, I think some people now like, that guy did this. Let me just do this as well, you know?
Tweak it a little bit.
Bro, I've now seen some people, there is, for example, recently.
Yeah.
We are moving. Mark my words, next year we'll be talking about this. Coffee and matcha. Matcha is somehow, it has become a trend that's now catching up to coffee.
For how long?
I'm still getting there. I was like, you know, Q graders we've always talked about for coffee.
Yeah.
I saw them now trying to grade matcha. You know, yes, it's possible to make the industry
it is, of course,
better and all, you know. But some of these things, bro, number one, I now think it's just for clout. Number two, I think it's just for content creation. Number three, you know how everyone's got their 2 cents about something.
Yes.
Not an expert, not scientifically proven, but the access to an audience.
Yeah.
You see? It's easier for people to poison you now with wrong information.
Of course, bro.
You know?
Definitely.
And just because you see it on TikTok or on Instagram, immediately
and the problem is people don't really take time to check facts and everything.
Exactly.
I saw it on the internet. There is this...
right now I can say Abdulrahman is a murderer. Even if...
Bro, for example...
once it spreads.
Yeah. Like there is this post. It was very funny. Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
It says not everything you see on the internet is true. And the funny thing is, whoever shared that photo or whoever came up with that quote,
yeah,
it was like a sarcastic way to say, don't even believe this post because Benjamin Franklin and the internet, like, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
And people started commenting about that. Like, bro, it's just funny. But then again, let me go back to the matcha. Excuse my ignorance when it comes to matcha. But let's say coffee does really have a lot of notes and it changes from one farm to another, from certain attitude
Yes.
to another. But
my-
matcha doesn't really change.
And it has one harvest. Like it changes according to harvest, in my own understanding. Like there's the early harvest. That's why the what
We
you
need to
call
call
it.
an expert on this.
Sorry.
We need to call an expert on this.
Who do you know? Which matcha expert do you know?
Not matcha expert, but tea expert. What's her name? Shermin? Is
I
she a
was
tea,
actually talking to her.
is she a
That's
tea
what-
expert? She speaks English, right?
Yes, she does. She's following the podcast as
Yes.
well. So, yeah.
So yeah.
So the other
I'm not
thing
convinced.
the other thing that I'm always afraid that the internet is gonna do, bro, there is now too much information to process for anything. Too much. You see? Some of the information comes to you in this way. It's so overwhelming that you fail to find time to actually research.
On
You
that
see?
note, you're 100% correct. For example, if I want to buy a certain product, I like to do my research before buying that product.
Yeah.
Long time ago, for example, I want to buy a phone, I go YouTube. There is like 2-3 channels that I trust and I watch, and most of the time they have the same opinion. Now it's just impossible. Like a whole river of content, a whole literally river of content. Everyone having different opinion. You don't know who is sponsored actually and who's not sponsored. Who is marketing it for their own benefit? Who's just saying their genuine opinion? It is, as you said, a lot to process. That's number one. Number two, as you said, genuinity. Like, is this content genuine or not? And let me tell you the straw. I saw one Instagram channel. The guy was actually, it's YouTube and Instagram, reviewing content. The whole channel with the content, with the product, with the face of the channel, all of it is AI. All of it. The guy didn't buy a single product. The company did not send him a single product. The face of the channel itself is not a real person. AI, and the guy is making shitload of money because of views. First of all, the amount of videos he's sharing is unreal. Like he's sharing, let's say, 3-4 videos per week. And you and I, we know how hard it is to really edit, take the time to shoot and everything. To the point where tech experts on YouTube, they were like, wait a second, this guy it can be true. After some analysis, they found out that the whole thing is AI. The guy is not really, he's just on ChatGPT writing a prompt and sending it. It is crazy. So yeah, it's funny how from priorities and time in social applications we came to this, but it's nice.
Let the river flow.
Let the river flow. What's called? Wherever floats your boat.
I think we should end it.
I think we should end it. Like literally end it. Maybe I'm gonna feel comfortable after ending it. Could be the podcast, could be my life.